Today, I'm going to be talking about fats. Hi, if this is your first time here, my name is Lori, and this is Lori's Journey. I do videos about my experiences with the Atkins diet, and I share with you the knowledge that I'm learning and tips and tricks I'm learning along the way. So, I have been reading this book called Nourishing Traditions, and it's not an Atkins book. However, it's a really good place to really understand your food and what you're eating. So I thought I would go through each of the different food categories and kind of compare it to what the Atkins diet list is. So I went to Atkins.com and I went and found they call it the Atkins 20 is the phase 1, and I've compared it to the food list for Atkins 20. So here's kind of an overview of what Nourishing Tradition talks about. It talks about how the fats from healthy animal and vegetable sources are the best. They have a lot of protein and other vitamins in it. So with that in mind, let's take a look at what the fats are. Now, I didn't write down all of them that she talks about, but kind of the ones that pertain to me and I hope that this really helps you guys out. So basically, the best fats that she's listed are those from duck and goose fats, chicken fat, lard and pork fat, beef, mutton tallows, never use that, olive oil extra virgin, peanut oil, it says to use sparingly, flaxseed oil in small amounts and never heat that up, coconut oil, which happens to be an antifungal and antimicrobial, and palm oil. Then she also says that you should eat egg yolks, animal fats with proteins, butter, and cream from pasture-fed cows. Now, I went over to Atkins.com and I went and looked at the list that they have for fats on Atkins 20. They have butter, mayonnaise with no added sugar, olive oil, and they listed pretty much all the other cooking oils. However, they did say that it's best to get cold pressed, and I forget what the other term was. I'll put the text on here. And then they said that olive oil is the best of all the oils, preferable. Let's see, they listed sour cream. And then within other categories I was looking, they have cheese, which is a fat. And they also listed eggs. So, that's a really good start. If you're trying, like me, to transition, start with just simply adding some things. Like, I've been making my own chicken broth now. It is so easy. Like, you go in and you have a whole chicken, keep the bones, and you can either stick them in the freezer for later or do it the next day. You have the bones, you just cut up a bunch of different vegetables, and you can put some herbs and things in there. If you want, I can make a video on how I make the chicken broth, and just let me know in the comments. And then, you fill the crock pot with water and let it go for 12 to 24 hours, and you have chicken broth. It is so easy. You don't even have to do anything to it. The other thing is, now they mentioned duck and goose fats. I've never used anything like that, but I have been using lard now that I've realized that it's actually not as bad as it sounds. like I've cooked some chicken on the stovetop, and instead of putting my other oil in there, I used lard. And it's so weird. It tasted so good too. But generally I use butter for a lot of things and never margarine. Uh, Margarine it's got a lot of stuff in it that we don't want. So, I mean, it's easy to just simply start using butter and everything, and cooking in butter and cooking in use olive oil. I also like to use avocado oil. I use that a lot. Um, and also that's avocados. They are a healthy fat. That's something that wasn't mentioned. Kind of funny. But anyway, that's really where I'm starting at, is I'm trying to really focus on what I'm cooking in and that sort of thing, and just make sure that I'm getting all those fats in. I'm also trying to make sure I'm eating more eggs. That's actually been challenging for me. I've never been a big egg fan. I like scrambled eggs. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of chaffles, but they are really good. You basically, I mean, you don't even need a recipe for this. You just take an egg or two and some cheese and blend it up, and you put it in your waffle maker. You can add in sausage or whatever else you want. Put some veggies in there, and it turns out so good. You would not even know. I mean, just, it's amazing. So I would say give that a try. Um, but yeah, I do that once in a while, or else I have scrambled eggs. I just don't really like hard-boiled eggs or any of that, so that is one thing that I need to work on, is getting more eggs. I've noticed that since I've fallen off track, that's one thing I am not eating as much. When I was doing really well, I was eating eggs pretty much every day, and I would start my day with that. And I was starting to feel less hungry, and I was losing weight really well. So that's one thing that I'm really trying to work on, is adding more eggs back into my diet. Um, Cream, we can put cream in your coffee. Uh, it's best if you have just regular straight heavy cream. Half and half is okay, but yeah, cream is actually a really good fat. And like it said on the list, coconut oil has a lot of very good qualities to it. I don't really use coconut oil, so I'm going to have to figure out how to get that worked into my eating plan as well. Um, yeah, animal fats. So anytime you're eating chicken, it's not just the fatty part, it's within the whole thing, the chicken. And that's why I like to make my own that's why I like to make my own chicken broth now, because I mean, it's so easy, it's cheap, and it's a lot healthier than what they sell in the store. They like to add a lot of extra stuff in to their broths when you buy it in the store, and I mean, it's really simple. So I've started doing that, and I wonder, why didn't I do this all these years before? And the funny thing is, well, there's some people that drink the broth. I'm not quite ready for that stage. But you can also, after you start making your own broth, when you have a recipe and it calls for water, just put chicken broth in instead. It'll give it a nice flavor, and you'll have some more fat in your dinner. And so that's what I try to do when I can. Now, I wouldn't recommend that for like a cookie recipe or something, but and yes, there are low carb cookie recipes out there. I found some. Um, but yeah, and I actually, a lot of times for lunch, I like to just get a low carb tortilla and put some mayonnaise on it, and then put some meats and stuff in there. It's a really simple lunch idea. And so mayonnaise right there, that's a good fat. So I guess that's all I really have to say about fat. I've got a rambling. I'm sorry about that. But if you have any questions, concerns, if you have tips or ideas, go ahead and put it in the comments. And I'm going to try to make this, I'm going to try to go through each different food group for the next few weeks, and we'll see how we get going from there. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and join the journey.